think being limitless in terms um, of what you can do almost is more stifling.
Ian, it is a
Cool.
joy to speak to you. Thank you so much for the time.
Oh my God, Steve, thanks so much for talking to me, man. This is great. I like your collection behind you. It's rad.
Thank
It's a
you.
good one.
That's as I was arranging it as you came on the screen.
Awesome. Very cool.
Um, Honestly, Dead Giveaway is so funny. I
Cool.
I laughed out loud on multiple occasions, and I don't say that very often. It was so funny and so lovely.
Oh
Where did
man.
it come
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you. So the two characters were based off of my two older sisters. They're the ones that really got me into movies in general when I was young, especially horror movies. They were showing me horror movies when I was really young, like 5 and 6 and 7. But like they made them fun. They never made them scary for me. It was always they always explained them, and it was always pretend and so like horror movies to me were always really fun and funny. And my sisters are absolutely ball busters and are pretty they're very quick-witted and sharp with their responses. And so writing these two lead characters and their banter back and forth in the situations they're dealing with was easy, because at a certain point it was just like, oh, what would my older sister say right now? And kind of ramp it through there. So it's very much a story for them. But uh needless to say, they're pretty weird people. So
I'm just glad you didn't say it was based on a true story with your sisters. That I'm thrilled.
yeah, that would have been a much different movie, I think.
As I was prepping for this conversation, I'm reading the notes, and you use the term slash stick in the notes, which
Yeah.
I love for this film. What does that mean to you? What is slash stick?
Yeah, I mean, so as much as my sisters really watched a lot of horror movies and stuff with me, my parents were always into more of like the older black and white stuff, like Twilight Zone and things like that. But my dad especially loved like the Three Stooges, and so slapstick comedy was always something that I really leaned into. And when I started throwing around the word slash stick, it was like, well, it's the Three Stooges, but if they actually bled. You know what I mean? If like when you get hit on the head with a pan, it leaves a mark, and like you've got that mark for the rest of this silly episode. And so, or a bowling pin in Dead Giveaway's case. So it was, yeah, that was very much the way I looked at it, of slapstick comedy that actually leaves a mark.
That is awesome, and not only a bowling pin, but a blender, among other things as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but the one thing I thought this film was so much fun. It reminded me of Memento, but if it was like fostered by Paris and Nicole.
yeah.
Uh,
That's awesome. Can I quote that? I'm gonna quote that one.
Please.
That's a good one.
Ruby and Michaela are just on fire in this film. What
Yeah.
what was it about them? What was the moment that you knew you'd struck gold with them as your leads?
I mean, Ruby came on first, and she's a brilliant actor and a great movie lover, and uh, she's a musician, so she understands the rhythm and the timing. So the character came very naturally to her. And then when I talked to Michaela, Michaela's a big horror fan, and again, like a great actress and a very funny person. Like they're both very funny, just like in general. When they sat down with one another and talked to one another the first time, and like not even did the line, they just were chatting at a table, and then I handed them the script and they started reading lines. It was just like, oh, never mind, this is going to be easy. And I kind of stopped working at that point. Like they just had it. And then even on like the first day, I think the first thing we shot um, was uh, the nighttime scene when they're in the bar having cocktails with um, and they're in the bar having cocktails the uh, with the bartender that comes over. Um, that was that was amazing. You know what I mean? They sat there and just took off and had it. And I sat there and watched them banter back and forth and do this scene, and it was like, oh man, yeah, this is going to be great. So, yeah, knowing that I struck gold early was a very, very comforting thing for sure.
What you had just said there, though, is interesting to me because I wanted to ask you about another drinking scene, which was
Hmm.
the shots off, if you will, or whatever it
Yeah.
was. Am I right in saying that that's an homage to Raiders of the Lost Ark? And
Yes,
if
you are.
so, why did you want to bring that into the film?
Heck yeah, dude. I'm so glad you're the first person that's picked up on that and asked me about it.
Seriously?
Yeah, you're the
It's so
first one.
Karen Allen. I was
I
like, oh,
know. It's amazing. I'm so glad you picked up on that. Yeah, I love those movies. I'm Indiana Jones is absolutely my favorite comfort watch. Um and they're brilliant, you know. And I thought what more fun way to introduce these people and to do this thing than with that sequence that I love so much. Especially it's just one big long shot. You get to move the camera around. Yeah, it's that was a very fun scene to shoot. We had a lot of I was just so excited to do it. And then when we pulled it off, I was like, oh my God, like this is amazing. So thanks for seeing that. I appreciate you picking that up.
oh no, honestly, that was the first thing that I was like, oh, this is great. Like that was
Yeah,
exactly
cool.
so beautifully done. And shooting the film, I mean, most of this film is shot pretty much in one location. Was that a challenge for you, or did it make things easier?
I think ultimately it made things easier. I think um, shooting or making anything when you give yourself limitations is always better. You know what I mean? I think being limitless in terms um, of what you can do almost is more stifling than like it was so fun working with my cinematographer Anthony Baronato. He's brilliant and wonderful, and getting to work with him and be like, all right, we've been in this bedroom 6 times. Like, where do we put the camera now? And we never once put the camera in the same place. It
Mm.
was always in a different spot. We never reused the same camera location throughout the entire course of the movie. So it made it a lot of fun, and it made it challenging, and it made it more interesting because you have to sort of think about the third and fourth and fifth options and like the best options that you have for every individual scene. So I liked it. I had a lot of fun. I like limiting myself.
Well, I think it actually adds, like, I can't imagine what it was like for Ruby and Michaela, but at the same time, I think having that there, there's that comfort level too. You just get
Yeah.
used to being in there and you sort of own the space.
Yeah, for sure. They made mention of that too. Like it was so nice to see them because like everything in the house was empty and we filled it out. So the art department did an incredible job. Um, but also really uh, worked with the actors and with me on like how do we make this house yours and like how do we make this space um, one that you're comfortable in and one that you've lived in or in Leah's case have been in 1,000 times. So uh, watching them get comfortable in that space and used to the space and knowing where to sit and how to sit. Um, it just across the board from the art department, the cameras, the actors, just made it really interesting and fun for us to build that little world together.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I know, Ian, one of the things about this film is these are heightened circumstances and it plays into the comedy, but what would you do if it were you in this?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good one. I think I'd probably well, I'd like to say that I'd probably call my friend and ask him what I should do. Or more so, I'd probably call one of my sisters and ask them what to do. And they would tell me they'd be right over. So
It sounds like you're telling me you'd live the movie, actually. It's what you essentially.
I hope I never do.
No,
I never
no,
do.
I'm not saying that as an encouragement by any stretch.
Yeah.
No, honestly, Ian, I really love the film. It is so much fun.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and the performances are so wonderful. And I really appreciate the chance to chat with you. I hopefully we
Oh
can do
my God.
let's do
Yeah.
brunch.
Oh, dude, I would love to do brunch. It's the best thing in the world. I really appreciate your time, man. It's been so cool talking to you.
Absolutely. Well, have a great time and congratulations on the film festival as well.
Thanks so much, man. I hope we get to see it when we come to your town.
Absolutely.